Unlikely journey. A Baltimore man whose law enforcement career spanned 3 decades in multiple agencies takes a new path. We'll talk with former cop and current author Phillip B. Reid. And we'll talk with our favorite enthusiastic National Park Service ranger about jazz at Maryland's historic Hampton Mansion. All this and more today on Time. Good morning, I'm Kai Jackson and welcome to On Time. The beginning of Phillip B. Reid's new book, Three Sisters Ponds, reads like a walk down memory lane for Baltimoreans. He talks about living in Turner Station and moving to Walbrook Junction on the west side. Yet, as this account of his career in law enforcement continues, we're introduced to a world unfamiliar to most. The process of becoming a city cop, dealing with riots, racism, and later getting a coveted job with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. This morning, we want to welcome Phillip B. Reid to On Time. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And thank you for inviting me, Kai.
It's an honor to have you here, and I'm really excited about your new book. Where does this title, Three Sisters Ponds, come from?
I'm glad you asked. Three Sisters Ponds was a special place in Druid Hill Park here in Baltimore City.
Yes.
It was kind of isolated, kind of an oasis in Druid Hill Park where you could go, sit on a bench. They had these co-joined ponds that were man-made, trees and foliage around that were very colorful. And every once in a while you'd see various types of birds and wildlife kind of strolling in and out. And it was a place for me to go relax and dream and set personal gols and talk through problems. It was a very, very special place to me.
Is it gone, Phillip?
Over the years, it kind of gradually disappeared. It became overgrown and neglected.
And the water dried up.
The pond has disappeared, and I don't think you can even go back in that area anymore, which is a shame.
You share with us, you live in Naples, Florida now.
I currently live in Naples, Florida.
When's the last time, can you remember the last year you even went back into Druid Hill Park to look at that area?
Well, I can tell you that it was probably within the past 6 months.
Oh, wow.
It's still very special, but I found myself unable to actually get back there. There are barricades there, so you can't even get close to it anymore.
And I don't want people to miss this point. There's a reason why you titled the book as such. This was your place of reflection in perhaps where you have had more than one epiphany about your life and which direction you should head. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I mean, I would, years ago, probably in the early 70s through the 70s and maybe the early 80s, I would go back and forth no matter where I was. Whenever I found myself back in Baltimore, I'd find myself over at Three Sisters Ponds where I could just go reflect. I'd grab a bench, maybe take my lunch, and sit and reflect and start identifying some new goals and new dreams to pursue.
What are your earliest memories of growing up in Baltimore in the 1950s? You were born in 47?
I was born in 1948.
In 48.
Okay.
And so you grew up in a Jim Crow era America, and Baltimore, though it's north of Virginia, north of the Deep South, it's still below the Mason-Dixon line, and there was racism in this area.
Right. Well, I was born in Turner Station in Baltimore County, and of course, in those days, we only had one hospital where you could be born in, which was Providence Hospital, and of course, ambulances would drive past many white hospitals to get your mothers to Providence Hospital where they had their babies, and sometimes maybe even at the risk of their lives.
Tell me about your parents.
Well, my mother and father, they were married in the early 40s. They were like war brides and groom. And he went to war, World War II.
Your dad was in World War II, wow.
Right. Came back from the war, and he got a job with Rice's Bakery as a baker.
Okay.
And we were still in Turner Station at the time.
Right.
and they eventually became divorced.
Okay.
And my mother, who I don't believe she ever had a job up to then, had to find herself a job, which she was challenged to do so in Turner Station. So that's when her and her 4 sons, 4 hard-headed sons,
right.
moved from Turner Station to Baltimore City, which it was in Walbrook Junction.
And Phillip, where did this early interest in law enforcement come? Did you have a member of your family, or did you see someone in terms of a friend or a neighbor in law enforcement, and did that encourage you?
Right. Eventually, as time went on, I became a lifeguard at Druid Hill Park pool, and I remember the day, and I can still see him. A good friend of ours came to the pool. He was in his Baltimore City police uniform.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at him and starting to ask questions. I admired, he just looked really good in his uniform. And
Yes.
I started asking him questions about the police department.
Right.
And he seemed to really like it, and he had a lot of good things to say about it. And I remember going home and talking to my oldest brother, who was already a Baltimore City cop.
Okay.
We talked more about it. And I had an uncle who was a detective with
Right.
Baltimore City Police Department, and that's where
Clearly
I got
the
my
influences
idea.
were there. Did you go to college, Phillip?
Yes, eventually I went to college, but I had before I kind of got on the road to
Yes.
college, I had my educational challenges and so. But yes, ultimately, thank God for Morgan State University, who gave me many opportunities to graduate.
I understand.
Over time.
I was on the 5-year plan in
Is
my
that-
college. I understand.
Mine's a little more
Absolutely.
extended, but
And so, were you a cop before you went to college?
Well, what happened was when I graduated from high school, I went to Edmondson High School.
Yes.
I went to Morgan.
Yes.
And eventually, I obviously wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing as far
Right.
as academically, and Morgan kicked me out.
Okay.
For good reason.
Right.
And then eventually. After a couple attempts, going back to Morgan, eventually I graduated from Morgan in 1975.
And what year did you join the City Police Department?
I joined the City Police Department in 1969
In '69. And what was your degree from Morgan, by the way?
in sociology.
Sociology. So it kind of worked well. What was the Baltimore City Police Department like in those days?
I think it was about 4,000 police officers that covered the city of Baltimore. We had a new commissioner, a guy by the name of Donald Parmelo,
Okay.
who was very advanced as a police commissioner. He put a lot of emphasis on education.
Yeah.
So he provided a lot of avenues to getting associate degrees and bachelor degrees. He had a police agent program,
Right.
which was an incentive program that if you became a college graduate, you would become a police agent.
Wow.
And then get a bonus, a
Wow.
little higher salary and so
Okay.
forth. So that was a nice little incentive.
Hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break, and I want to share with our listeners and our viewers. When we come back, we're going to continue our discussion. This is a 2-part discussion today with our author, Phillip B. Reid, about Three Sisters Ponds. When we come back, we're going to talk more about your law enforcement career with the FBI and also dealing with riots at the University of Maryland. You're watching and listening to On Time. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Good morning again. You're watching and listening to On Time. This morning we're talking with Baltimorean Phillip B. Reid about his new book, Three Sisters Ponds. In the book, and we want to welcome you back here. In the book, you describe an amazing law enforcement career, the process, what it was like in cases you covered. One of the things I want to share with our listeners and viewers, you covered a very tension-filled time at the University of Maryland. What were these riots about during this time, and what year was this?
Okay, this would have been around 1971, 72 time frame. There was a lot of anti-war demonstrations going on at the time.
Like it was going on in
anti-establishment,
Ohio
anti-government, demonstrations going on. There was a lot of bad sentiments about government, the war, and so forth. So there were a lot of disturbances on college campuses, and of course, University of Maryland was no exception.
Right. People were not enthusiastic as they are today about the military, about police. People weren't wrapping themselves in a flag. If anything, they were burning flags during that time. Was it any more difficult to not only be an officer of the law, but then to be one who was African American?
Absolutely. It was challenging, but I have to say that I was very proud to be a black law enforcement officer, a black cop on the street. But it was some challenging times. Right. We were all pigs, and then of course some of us were black pigs, but we were all pigs for sure. But it was a very challenging, difficult time. But I thought it was very important to have black law enforcement officers on the street.
You remember fondly one of your favorite officers, a colleague of yours, a man by the name of Xander Mac Gray, whose wife Portia works here at our station.
Absolutely.
Who's responsible for you being here today. Your friendship continues today with him.
Absolutely. He's basically my best friend, and I make that very clear in my book, for sure.
Right, absolutely. When did you join the FBI, and what prompted you to do this? You already had a successful career with the Baltimore City Police Department with Mac, who was also a cop. Why did you want to go and work for the FBI?
Well, I can say this. After I graduated from Morgan, I was teaching at the Baltimore City Police Department at the time. I really had no clue that blacks could even become FBI agents. Yes. And it wasn't until a professor at Morgan State University just out of the clear blue sky just mentioned it to me. He was aware that I was a cop and trying to finish up Morgan, and he mentioned to me, you should consider being an FBI agent. And I thought, wow, that's I don't think that's even possible. So then I started doing my homework on it and realized they did have black FBI agents, and there was an opportunity.
How difficult was the process, or was it not as difficult as you first thought?
Well, very difficult, and it was much more difficult than I thought because you really there's a very thorough and in-depth background investigation that's done. There's some expectations of you in terms of your academic capabilities, your physical.
The Bureau wants people of high intellect, don't they? Not just people out on the street with weapons, but they want people of high intellect thinking.
Exactly, because you're really operating very independently out there when you're conducting, for the most part, investigations.
And what year did you join?
I joined in 1977.
And you mentioned in the book this is 5 years after legendary director J. Edgar Hoover had passed.
Yes.
We have heard and seen films over the years about Hoover, and he remains a controversial figure. I'll just leave it at that. What was the culture and the climate like of the Bureau during those days?
Well, I can tell you this. I was fortunate in the time that I joined the FBI because they had a new FBI director who had been a former police commissioner in another state. He understood the need to have former police officers with college degrees in the FBI because there was always a problem with the relationship between the FBI agents and state and local law enforcement officials. So he figured this was the best way of bridging that gap or resolving that problem.
Because our time is limited, I want to, Phillip, go into a case that really is close to Marylanders for a number of reasons in terms of relationship and proximity, but also because it was an international case, and that's one that you handled, and that's the bombing a Pan Am Flight 103 over Lockerbie, Scotland, and probably at that time, one of the biggest acts of terrorism against the United States that we'd seen in some time. Would that be an accurate description?
Right. It was a horrific tragedy, and it was deliberate, as the investigation found, determined.
And who was responsible again?
And that through a 3-year investigation, international investigation, working with law enforcement intelligence agencies from all over the world, we were able to identify 2 Libyan intelligence officers that were responsible. And we, over time, we were able to arrest them and then prosecute both of them in the Netherlands.
One of those who had been prosecuted in recent days or recent years was released eventually from prison and allowed to go back to Libya because he had cancer. This was very upsetting to a lot of people, including a mother from Anne Arundel County whose daughter was on board Flight 103. Do you want to talk about your feelings about this?
Well, it was very, very disappointing, very upsetting. I didn't understand why they released him.
That person was?
That was Abdel Bassett al-Megrahi. I didn't understand why they released him. It certainly, his health situation didn't warrant, in my view,
right.
Reason enough to release him and send him back to Libya.
We're out of time, and I could talk with you just so much more. What should we garner from this book? Is this simply your account, or is this your way, and perhaps of even encouraging others to venture into a career in law enforcement, and perhaps to even encourage African American women and men to get into a career in law enforcement?
Yeah, absolutely. I wrote it for several reasons. One, to encourage others to consider public service careers and criminal justice and law enforcement. Others, I wanted to emphasize the importance of dreaming and having aggressive and challenging life goals. Education. It's never too late to get an education.
Right.
For the youth, I really wanted to make sure that I emphasized the importance of avoiding those youthful mistakes that eventually could lead to you not getting a job down the road. And finally, I would like to see Baltimore consider restoring Three Sisters Ponds in Druid Hill Park.
We'll talk about that. That'll be the next venture that we have you come on and talk about. How about that?
Very good. Right. Thank you. I appreciate that, Kai.
Phillip B. Reid, thank you very much. The book is called Three Sisters Ponds, and it can be purchased at?
Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Goodreads.
all the familiar places that you know.
Right.
Thank you very much, Phillip, for coming on today. We appreciate it. We'll be back.
Thank you for having me, Kai.
Amazon is great, right?
Yeah,